Good morning to the front seat of the wildest ride in political and cultural news today. Sprinkled with hopefully a little dose of laughter and here back and forth and just having a great time. We got President Trump signing a brand new executive order that is going to turn some heads for the right and the left. Trump is planning to deport anybody on campus that is pro-Hamas. What are your thoughts on that? Should Trump be deporting people based on how they view our freedom of speech? If they're here on visas? In a heated brawl in Chicago, in Crook County, one of my favorite counties in all of America, Tiffany Henyard loses her weave. Child, I just lost my weave. Stop the fight. And also, maybe losing her entire reputation. The entire town breaks out in an insane brawl before your eyes. And Karoline Leavitt is shaking up the press briefing room and bringing some youthful energy. We finally have some Gen Zs actually giving a shit. And Tim Walz and Elon Musk go off back and forth on who can do the Nazi salute the best, while he has a complete meltdown on MSNBC, and Jimmy Kimmel cries before our eyes, welcome to the...
Okay, let's go.
Let's go late and let the world
trust the government.
She sent in a little video for us. Oh. Here she is.
Hey, in spite of everything you've heard, and let me just make sure you all know that it's actually me. Say it's me.
Anti-woke.
Anti-woke?
suck on this, Biden.
Would we the all
Folks stepping on them because it's black.
I wear heels. They're not for a fashion statement. They're for ammunition.
I may be a white boy, but I'm not stupid.
Begging for our enemies to penetrate.
Trump incited an erection.
Guys, very, very sad news. Look at this video right now.
It is the determination of the Science and Security Board
What
of
is
the
it?
Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists
Okay.
that the world has not made sufficient progress.
Oh, no.
Existential risks
Okay.
threatening all of humanity.
Open your mouth when you talk.
We thus move the clock forward.
What's
In
going on with
setting
this
the clock
clock?
closer to midnight,
Yes?
we send a stark signal.
What is it?
Because the world is already perilously close to the precipice,
Turn in.
any move towards midnight should be taken as an indication
The
of
atomic
extreme
clock
danger
is changing.
and an unmistakable warning.
We're going to all die.
Every second of delay in reversing course increases.
These people are all in charge of our lives. The atomic clock is going to end us all. Look at that stance. You're leaning a little too forward, sir. You're leaning a little too forward. Turn the clock.
The probability of global disaster.
Oh, no.
It is now 89 seconds to midnight. This is the closest the world has ever been.
Disgusting. But at least we have some diversity on this panel. 2 white guys, a black woman, and a Native Asian American. That's how you're supposed to say it, right? It's over. It's over. My favorite comment is when this is what I see about the guy sounds like he swallowed some balls. He does kind of sound a little on the cusp of doing something absolutely insane. I think if possible, a voicemail should be a regular part of the show. I think others would call if it made more of a thing. Yeah, maybe we'll do that at the end of, let's do that at the end of the day. Let's do that at the last show of the day. While someone actually made that, yeah. Someone should clarify their relevance. They don't have any. They're like an old science community that nobody cares about, but yet they try to make themselves continuously be relevant. All right, look. Donald Trump just is potentially going to be signing an executive order, and he's going to deport pro-Hamas students on visas that break the law. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, Israel got your tongue. President Trump to deport pro-Hamas students. Apparently, these students will be here. If you're a student and you're here on visa and you go on these infadada marches or riots or whatever, your freedom of speech, if you have some pro-Hamas sentiment, we're going to deport you now. Okay, now it's a little over the top, bro. President Trump expected to sign an executive order today instructing all federal agencies to identify civil and criminal authorities available to combat anti-Semitism.
I'm gonna come.
Including finding ways to deport anti-Jewish activists who violate laws. So if you violate the law and you're pro-Jewish, you can stay. God. I'm not a fan of this. I think this is absolutely ridiculous. The order requires agency and department. Oh, Derek, you don't want these people in our land. You don't want these people. Just keep in mind, a lot of these are just dumb college kids. And if you don't remember how you were when you were a dumb college kid, I remember like believing or thinking a lot of really stupid stuff. And so just put that mindset, put that context on top of these college students. So maybe if you're in your 30s and 40s, maybe you too would be all of a sudden be, and when they say pro-Hamas, they mean pro-Palestine, right? I mean, come on. I mean, that's such a cope. It's pro-Hamas. If you're pro-Palestine, you're pro-Hamas. Okay, literally they elected the government, so they're definitely pro-Hamas. And yeah, maybe they are, but that's the same thing. It's like, I don't kick out the white supremacists at the school or black supremacists. Just like, they're dumb college kids. They're supposed to be exploring their bodies and their mind for new ways of thinking. And maybe a lot of these pro-Hamas people will go to these rallies and see how insane a lot of these kids are and then change their mind. That's what happened to me. I grew up in a very conservative household. On one side of my family, the other side of the family was very liberal. And the conservative side made me feel like the liberals were scary and crazy and nuts. And then and I didn't know if I believed it. So I had to go to some of these rallies or hang out with some of these people to understand how insane they could possibly be. And then I thought, oh, that makes more sense. Violet says it's a little cheeky, but it's also really, really bad optics to say it about anti-Semitism, which it is kind of, but not technically illegal. Yeah, exactly. Freedom of speech. If you're here on visa, you're allowed to express your ridiculous views, even if they're absolutely stupid. Like if you're stupid, you're stupid. But like, let these kids be stupid. I see college kids as dumb. I'm not one of these liberals who think that the youth are leading the direction of the country. No. None of them pay taxes. And a lot of them are there on just absolute loans. And they're getting hammered every night and doing these stupid parties. And we were all there at one point, and maybe not all of us, but a lot of us were there at one point. So just let these college kids be idiots. Let them be idiots. If they want to break the law, that's a different thing. But an anti-Semitism law, look, until we have an anti-ginger law, I don't care about you freaking Semites. Okay? Until there's a law protecting gingers from pro-Hamas people who are trying to literally kill my people, I don't want to hear about it. Celine says, I don't understand the Israel-Palestine conflict. Dude, no one does. No one understands that conflict. It just depends on what context you put on there and where you want to start in history to defend your position on the pro-Israel, pro-Palestine conflict. Just put that, Celine, just when you hear people talking about this conflict, ask them when they start to reference when history begins for their people. And then you can understand where they're coming from. It's such a messy, anything in the Middle East, I just kind of stay away from. It's just let the scholars debate that. And there's a reason why both sides are about at a stalemate, because they both have their logical arguments to believe what they believe and believe that their side is the right side versus the other side is literally killing all of us. The order requires agency and department leaders to provide the White House with recommendations within 60 days and outlines and plans for the Justice Department to investigate pro-Hamas graffiti and intimidation. According to the document described in the order, we're going to finally crack down on the graffiti of all these pro-Hamas graffiti. My God, I can't say it now. You know when you ever mess up a word and then you try to say it again and then you can't hear the word anymore, so it just never works anymore? That's what's happening for me right now. Also, pro-Hamas students are all probably American anyways. Maybe. It's just such a dumb. So many of these executive orders that Trump is doing, I'm expecting a lot of them to be shot down in the courts. But he is, appeasing his base. And the funny thing too, a lot of the pro-Israel people are very Democrat focused. So it's like, why are you putting yourself out there for you? Selena, kill all Jews is somewhat unpopular in Israel. Yeah, that too. If you're going around telling people you're going to kill them, based on the religion or how big their nose is, okay, you don't have to be in this country. That's one thing. If you're actually doing violent threats towards other people's face, if you're just marching and saying, I'm pro-Hamas, I'm a stupid drunk college kid, that's another thing. So if they're breaking the law, that's one thing. But an anti-Semitism law, that kind of stuff is just, that's old. That's like 90s conservatism, where the freedom of speech is not put on a pedestal. We need freedom of speech in this country. It's an absolute, we need it. We've seen when the other side gets in power, how we feel when our freedom of speech is challenged. So when we're in power, we don't need to be the arbiters of who can say what and how they feel. That's ridiculous. That's not a good precedent to keep in the forefront. Two religions hate each other. Ancestral rights to the land. That's a perfect example. Kristen says, save gingers in Disney movies from being replaced with minorities. Thank you. Look, Israel was placed. Israel. God. Ariel, Israel. Ariel from The Mermaid was replaced. Very offensive of that. And I'm trying to think of somebody else. We don't have many characters in Disney, okay? Wolf Flo, what's up, Wolf Flo? I've never seen a ginger I've never seen a ginger at Targeted for any other reason than actually I've never seen a ginger hate. Wow, dude, you should have been to my middle school, man. I used to be made fun of and beat up all the time by Mexican kids because they hated. They'd be like, "Why are you looking at me weird? You're all crazy and stuff." I think that people see me and they see red and it makes them angry. The red hair kind of triggers people because they see red in their eyes. Celine says, I can tell the way someone votes based on their mental stability. That is probably actually true. The more anxious you are, you're probably going to want, people with high anxiety are going to want a very aggressive and powerful government to make them feel safe. And people that are more calm, cool, collected, in charge of their lives, can make do complete tasks, hold down a job. Those are the type of people that don't want the government in their life. I think that is a great comment. But think about it. If you have high anxiety, you're going to want a powerful government to make you feel safe at night. Let's see. And Disney, good one, Kristen Disney. Rachel Zegler being the new Snow White is even more repulsive than Ariel, in my opinion. Look, that's because you're not a ginger, okay? That's Celine, if you were a ginger, you would understand the hate we have for what Disney is doing to our people. They're absolutely taking everything away from us. Okay, another huge story. Cook County, known for a lot of things. Look, I went to school in Cook County. I went to school in Chicago. Chicago is a place of beautiful people, great food, and incredible architecture. Some of my favorite days in Chicago are just walking down the streets and looking up. I know that you're not supposed to look up because that proves that you're a tourist, but you look up because of the skyline and the architecture is so beautiful. But the day I remember getting into Chicago, somebody said, welcome to Crook County. And I thought, Crook? It's Cook County, idiot. I just moved here and I knew that. He said, no, welcome to Crook County. Chicago's a windy city because the politicians blow wind up their butt, okay? Chicago is known for politics and it being absolutely insane, and it's very strong Democrat stronghold. Last night, during Thornton Township, Supervisor Tiffany Henyard got into a fight with everybody in the town. This incident has also followed multiple controversies surrounding Tiffany Henyard, including allegations of financial misconduct and a judge's decision to keep her off the ballot for town supervisor. So they got into a huge fight last night in the middle of the town. Just watch these videos. This is our politics. This is Trump's America. Okay, look at this. What do you notice? What do you notice about this picture? What do you notice? Not one ginger anywhere. They fighting. Oh no. Oh no. Who let this old white lady in? Look, if you are in your 60s plus and you don't work out a day in your life, stay away from fights. That is an easy way to get knocked out and you don't even know what's happening. You're just like, guys, stop. Why is she the only one wearing blue? She's a Crip. Oh my God. That's Mama Crip. Morning, Steven.
Tiffany is in there. Tiffany is in there.
Tiffany is in there.
Texas, and when her daughter moved away to Texas, she went to help her daughter. But I done heard about 4 or 5 people tell me how they had to take care of yours. And so while you've been half.
Guys, we're out of blueberry muffins. I'll grab a bagel, but someone could grab muffins. The way someone would be great. Yeah.
And earn some respect. Then you should have been able to respond to Lori Lightfoot's report about credit cards.
Whenever a black woman tries to attack how I look, I remind her she wears my hair. Is that your comeback?
Talk about them not coming to work, but we've been hearing about what you've been doing while you've been at work, and I'm gonna give away the rest of my time because I think on behalf of the Black Cookout Association,
the Black Cookout Association. Look, when am I gonna be invited to the cookout? You know what I'm saying? I'm stat black. That should be enough of a pass as it is. I was never invited to the cookout.
We're gonna take a vote and we're gonna change your black ass for Stephanie to be the new member of Congress. So all those in favor say, all those against it say nay, all those in favor say aye. You know, bitch.
You know what it is. Uh-oh. And then somebody came from the back of the aisle and said, "Excuse me, you didn't invite me to the cookout." Uh-oh. Trump's America is dying by the day. We can't stop everybody right now. The chaos is already unfolding. People everywhere are losing their weaves. Thanks a lot, Tiffany. You're ruining America. Thanks a freaking lot. Celine, it's actually Cambodian hair. Thank you, Miss Berry. You know, you need to check her. You need to check. I've heard that most weaves are coming from Asia, so. I don't know if you caught SNL this weekend, but there was, I forget what that black chick's name. She actually had a funny segment talking about how she's worried about tariffs because now is the time to buy all the weaves that you can possibly buy before weaves get too expensive. That's great. Cookout is code for watching for Diddy parties. Is that true? I thought the cookout was just supposed to be a fun time where we drinking scissorp, and we eating good. I've only been to one black cookout, and it was for Thanksgiving, and it was fantastic. I had like a huge amount of macaroni and cheese, smoked turkey, chicken wings, of course. Amen. Hallelujah. A lot of sweet tea. It was like the sweetest sweet tea I've ever drank in my life. It was like so much sugar, I didn't know what to do with myself. I was like, is there any tea in this sugar? I love a good cookout. And it did end in a fight. So the stereotype, sometimes the stereotype is true, all right? Just like the stereotype for us gingers, like we need sunscreen. That's just a real thing. A lot of us smell like sunscreen because we're wearing it even when we're indoors. Excuse me. I didn't invite you to the cookout because you would embarrass me at the swap meet. That's true. Diddy oil eating good? Yeah, you put the oil on the chicken. You put the Diddy oil, you put the baby oil. Is that a thing? What if Diddy was doing that? Diddy's just lathering up chickens with, instead of like olive oil, he's using baby oil. Have you ever had baby oil chicken, baby? You put a little baby oil on that chicken? It fries up real good. I'm president of my club. We do cookouts all summer. It's awesome. You have a club? What, Disco, what is your club? How old are you? Like 85 years old? Welcome to the disco club where we can spin the tunes and listen to the Bee Gees again. Remember the Bee Gees? Those white boys had it going on. Selena says, I wear sunscreen even in the winter. I stopped wearing sunscreen. I'm going to get skin cancer. Let's do it for skin cancer. Yesterday was the start of something beautiful in the press secretary room. The youngest woman to ever be press secretary. And look, Republicans don't care about DEI, but when we have one, we celebrate them. She's the youngest woman. That makes her amazing. Okay, that already makes her amazing. She's the youngest woman to ever do it. We don't want to hire the best for the job. We want to hire the youngest, beautifulest, blondest press secretaries for the jobs. And I'm in full support of this. So yesterday was a huge day for Karoline Leavitt as our press secretary. 27 years old. That is so young. When I was 27 years old, if I was in front of all these dumb reporters, I don't even think I was really into the news at that point in my life. I wasn't really into politics. I would listen to some politics, but I wasn't into politics as much as she is. So good on her. Apparently, she didn't even come to the press secretary conference or daily thing she didn't come with a binder at all. She didn't come with anybody's names. She memorized everybody's names there. She didn't even have a binder with all the answers. I've never seen a press secretary just winging it. She's just winging it. She just knows what's going on. I mean, good for you, girl. I mean, I don't care about how young she is or that she's a woman or blonde or whatever. The fact that she walked into a press secretary room and didn't have a binder full of answers that she can just refer to the entire time, that's fantastic. That's freaking fantastic. I'm 25. She's 2 years older than me. Well, in 2 years, you could be there too. You could be there too. But here's her first question being asked, and she absolutely owned these people. Watch this.
3,500 arrests ICE has made so far since President Trump came back into office. Can you just tell us the numbers? How many have a criminal record versus those who are just in the country illegally?
ICE has arrested many people. How many of these people have a criminal record? Answer that question. I mean, what a T-ball shot.
All of them, because they illegally broke our nation's laws, and therefore they are criminals as far as this administration goes. I know the last administration didn't see it that way, so it's a big culture shift in our nation to view someone who breaks our immigration laws as a criminal, but that's exactly what they are.
Wait, they're dreamers. Wait, they're just good people looking for jobs. Oh, what a freaking answer. What an answer. How many of these people are criminals that that ICE is deporting? All of them, because they've broken our laws for coming in here illegally. What a freaking boss. I'm turning 41 on the 9th. Congrats, old lady. I'm 42, close to 25. That is close, Lewis. That is very close. Look, I'm 85, but I'm closer to 55. So everyone put your age in the chat. I want to make sure we're all legal. You know what I mean? I'm going to come. Just crossing the border is a crime. She makes me proud. That was awesome. I hope she continues to be fantastic at this job. Even the Fox News reporter put this together and said this about her.
Karoline Leavitt, the new White House press secretary, just did her first ever briefing from the podium, and a couple notable changes. She didn't have a binder with her, and yet was able to answer all of our questions on a range of topics. And she also called on everyone in these rows by name. So she really did her homework in terms of figuring out who it is that covers the White House, and they are also expanding that. These seats over here usually go to White House staffers. This administration is opening 2 of those seats to 2 newsletters, and they're also opening credentialing to anyone who reports on news regardless of the medium. So you could be a TikTok content creator or a person who puts their information out on Instagram and have an opportunity to get access to what they're calling the new media seat. It was very busy in here. The sides of the room were just packed with people. It actually took me a while to get to my seat in the front row. So I expect it's going to be busy for the next 4 years, and even busier now that they're expanding who it is that can cover this White House.
We're just going to have a bunch of influencers in there. I'm going to sign up to be a part of this. Try to get a press pass, by the way. I'm going to try my best. And you're going to just see me show up in a neck brace and a wig. And people are going to be like, get this freak out of here. You're 13? Okay, good to know. Just good to know. Good to know. Says for it. Charlie was 6 years old, new 50. That's what's up. That's true. That's true. It doesn't matter how old you are. As long as you work out and eat healthy, you can be as young as you want to be. And that's what's important in life. That's what's important. I'm turning 41 on the 9th. Hey, happy early birthday, Violet. Diddy Oil, I'm identifying as 7. Oh God, don't allow Diddy to come in your life. That's a gateway drug. Once Diddy is in your life, he won't let go. Derek, you got to get a press pass. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna apply. We'll see what happens. Obviously, I'm not that big of a streamer, so we'll see if they even let somebody of this size in. But I'm gonna try. We're gonna do our best, and we're gonna get into that press briefing, and we're gonna ask awesome questions. I was like, if I do it, would I troll or would I ask a serious question? I'd probably ask a serious question, but I would look like a troll, and that's what's important. Charlie says, I do work out. You got to work out. You got to work out, or else you're going to be an anxious ball noodle who can't cope in life. You the man, keep doing your job. Hey, thanks, dude. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. So we've watched all these ICE raids. We've watched how Dr. Phil and Tom Hammond are doing ICE raids together, and we've just seen like man on the street videos of ICE raids. Now Kristi Noem is officially doing ICE raids. This is stolen valor. You're not the police.
Here in New York City this morning, we are getting the dirtbags off these streets. Here in New York City this morning, we are getting the dirtbags.
She's getting the dirtbags off these streets. Let her go after the dogs. She can go after all the pit bulls that these illegals own. But you know what, guys? Many on the left are freaking out about these ICE raids, but they're not all bad. Look, here's one woman saying that she no longer has to pay rent because her landlord was deported.
Y'all, ICE done picked up my motherfucking landlord, so I don't gotta pay no bills now.
Just yesterday, we saw about 1,000 arrests by ICE. And just for context, in 2024, under the last year of the Biden administration, there was a daily average of about 312 arrests. So definitely an increase there. They targeted dope.
Yo, my landlord just got picked up. My landlord just got picked up. But what is the point of all these raids? What is the point of these new immigration laws? And when I need something spoken to me, I look to this man. Salt. Vivek is pepper, and this is salt Vivek. Look at that hair, gorgeous. He just like takes his gel in the morning, just shoots it straight up. What's the deal with all these ICE raids?
Look, I think there's always this gap between what they say they're going to do and what they do. And that is because what Donald Trump is interested in is using genuine public concerns that are out there and weaponizing them to then do, much more sweeping things for which there is no mandate, right? So in this example, is there I was on with you last week when we were talking about polling.
The dude is a living troll. He's a troll doll.
There is support in the country.
He looks like he belongs.
Deporting undocumented.
He looks like he belongs in anime. He does. He looks like he's about to start like doing some powerful symbols.
Documented people with criminal records. There is support for that. So Donald Trump will talk about that and then kind of run on that.
Okay.
And then, as you're seeing in the reporting just now, what they actually do behind the scenes, they trust will not really get out. And it is part of a different agenda they have, which is really to make America white again, which is part of their attack.
That's right. Get out. Is that why your hair is white? Nice. We see you from a mile away. You can't fake us out with that hair. I love that MSNBC still to this day has such extreme TDS and absolutely insane that they can't see the forest from the trees. Oh, it's because Donald Trump wants to make America white again. They do the same thing when J.D. Vance says that Americans need to have more babies. Their own racism puts it a lens on and makes it a racial issue. You can tell a racist by the way they view the world. If you take J.D. Vance saying that Americans need to have more babies as white people need to have more babies, you're a racist, okay? You're a racist. Americans know what Americans are. It's a look, it's a feel, it's cultural. It's you just know it when you see it. It's not just white people. God, it's just so boring. It's such a boring talking point. And yes, of course, there are racists that only want this country to be white, sure, but they're such a small minority that it's not even worth talking about. But of course, they take one person's thoughts and then make it to be the whole right wing believes this, that all MAGA believes this, all people on this side of the aisle believe this. That's what they like to do. They like to stronghold these small people's opinions to make it be the narrative for everybody on one side of the aisle. That's such a lie. It's all ridiculous, but also we're also racist. And that's right. Get out of my country, you sick freak. You sick freak. We're making America white again. This country was great when it was only white people. Oh, it was never white? This country never just had white people? We're gonna do it anyways. God, that's just so stupid. Storm as a trans man? You talking about Marvel Comics Storm? That's Halle Berry. It's Halle Berry as a man. Halle Berry just recently transitioned. That's what you're supposed to do in Hollywood anyways, right? As you get older and you get uglier, all you do is just transition. All of a sudden, you're sexy again. Lewis says, this man looks weird to me. I don't know. I don't want to seem like I'm being judgmental, but there is something about him. You are being judgmental. You're being a horrible human being. Now, if he walked up to you, he looks like one of those people that I would want to break out a ruler. I want to see how long that face is. That's like a 24-inch face this way. I'm going to say go Tulsa and RFK. I hope they nail all the hearings. Yeah, me too. Me too. Americans are Americans and deporting Americans are non-Americans. Yeah, nice. You're all racist, guys. Did you know that? Yes, I did. I woke up this morning and I wrote in my journal, Derek, make sure you do your best not to be racist the entire day. Save your racism for moments alone in the bathroom. Okay. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you guys later tonight. Have a wonderful day. If you don't mind dropping a like on this video, I would greatly appreciate it. You guys are the most beautifulest, gorgeousest, bestest, peopleest in the entire facist world. His hair is the balance his huge forehead. Dude, shout out to the forehead community. Shout out to the big forehead